Testing, testing. Okay, I was just fucking doing some meditation that I'd start everything and I record everything with before I start meditating, so I don't really have to do too much setup and everything after that, you know, so I can be as present as possible with you guys. Check out this chain though. Especially for this, right? Like I'm changing the color of the background to signify that this is a different type of video. So this is called My Advice, or it used to be called Poppy Code. I'm having headphones on so I can kind of like same with meditation, be more present, right? But I need to get into the hype mode really quick because this also is a video. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Either I could do yeah, I know what to do. I'm gonna take a little hit. We're gonna get ready. I got 12 photos of people asking for advice. We're gonna do 6 on this episode, 6 on the next one, and then I mean it's continuous forever. I don't think there's ever gonna be like a end of people needing advice. I think it will just grow because you know that's what's gonna happen. But like I said, one sec. Let's get ready. Let's get ready for some real talk, some real advice, some real honest advice, and it's just my advice. Take it or leave it. You know, if I think my advice is usually pretty good. Not sure why. I don't know. I feel like I've been through a lot of shit, and I've also noticed a lot of things, and I see things from a different perspective as well. I believe. Via like the path I've chosen so far, and how I've gotten here. Right, so maybe this is just me, first of all, describing what you're about to see if you haven't, right? So this is where people will send me questions and stuff, no matter what it is, no matter how serious. Sometimes they get real serious. So, you know, just I guess trigger warning to people out there. It could really be about fucking anything. It's usually about relationships quite often, obviously. So it's everything. It's everything under the sun. Obviously, I will pick probably the most enticing one is the title, or whichever one I talk about the long. I don't know. You know how that works. You know how YouTube works. Whatever. Or I could just do my advice and number it, but you want the search engine. You need the help. So I think I'm calling it it's just my advice. It's my advice. That's just it. It's just my advice. You know, it used to be called Poppy Code, but I want to separate it from Wineboxpapi, not for any bad reasons, just because this isn't Wineboxpapi. This is the Mark Carsky channel, and it's just my advice. Damn, I fuck with that so hard. All right, let's do what I said. Did you guys just hear it stop right there? It like I'll put it in like where it just stops. The fucking HomePod, like for some reason they're always just like I don't know if like my iPhone's trying to, I don't know, it's weird, it just stops. Now we'll do Long Nights. Off of the Black EP. I'd call this album perfect, or this EP perfect. Nothing skippable. 19 minutes. If it would play, you know, it's funny. Like the connection's so clearly made. Everything should be working so well. You know what I'm saying? Like the HomePods are right there, dog. Jesus Christ. I was about to say, I hope it pauses right now. I was like, I bet you it will, because I'm about to start talking. I had that feeling. I couldn't take the glass. I was actually going to pause it, because I was about to say couldn't take the glass out of that right there. That's how I broke up one of my unbreakable bongs, which is hilarious. All right. So I need my phone here. This is so now, what was the reason for the smoking? Some people might be like, ooh, you know, because that's what I do, bitch. That's what I do. I like to smoke. And we got some Yerba Mate right here, energy drink to keep us focused and shit. You know, mixed with the marijuana. We got a little bit of... We got the all-seeing eye here, the all-seeing eye bowl. I don't know if you could, maybe I'm not too fucking lazy to walk up over there and show you a fucking bowl, but you know, it's cool. I might do it. You might have seen it in the past video, but that shit packed, ready to go. If we need more to balance out the Euromate, because I get anxiety and shit, and I have anxiety. And I was actually just filming a comedy video. You guys might be noticing I'm wearing the outfit I was supposed to be wearing while making that comedy video today. But I'm doing this in place of it because I noticed. So like, there's a technical failure on my end. I forgot to press record for the microphone, recording separate audio, and then the battery fell out of the Ninja, so that stopped recording. And I was just like, so I had to restart. And then after that, I was like, I already told jokes twice. I'm just gonna change it up, and it might be a good thing. I knew it would get frustrating. I was just at the point I was like, if I continue, this will be bad. Probably, it's not gonna be a good video. You're gonna feel the vibes of me being, In the beginning of the first one, I was hyped as fuck, but like now I'm just like, God, like in that one, I was like, God damn it. But I feel very, very I'm very grateful to have you guys. I have this second channel, have this ability to do a different type of content, more type of content that's here in the moment, needed now for the individual, right? The stuff that I have podcasts that I completely want to. Are you fucking eating up here, Myles? How'd you even get up here? Anyway, podcast where I want to talk about aiming at the greatest good, and I think this is something that I genuinely do. Well, somebody said, by the way, commented saying, "Stop fiddling with the mic. Stop touching it. I can't. What the fuck? What do you mean? What do you mean? Stop touching this microphone? It's a like $500. This setup right here for this microphone, $600. This thing, $100. I'm doing that to flex. It's plugged into something. It's $400. I can fucking touch this shit all I want. I want to touch this. This is made to be touched, motherfucker. That's what I'm trying to get at." I can't. I'm done watching. I was like, well, then you done fucking watching them, bitch. All right. How could that be? Like, just don't listen. Like, I gotta upload the audio of these. I keep forgetting to do that. All right, let's start off. It's always anonymous, guys. How this works is you can message me anywhere. Say this is for Poppy Code. If you're not, directly replying to something, or if it's not, just tell me it's Poppy Code. Like, if you're seeing this and comment down below, just like always say it's Poppy Code if you can. Or say Poppy Code, or it's like for your advice channel, because I'm going to name it. It's called My Advice. Mark Code is gay. Poppy Code was stealing off of Guy Code and Girl Code anyway. It's only 3:02. Yeah, a little early for my yerba mate. It's probably why it's giving me a little bit of anxiety. Because of my fucking Adderall, still in my body a little bit. But anyway, here we go. Hey, Poppy, following your Instagram live, I do have a question to ask you. I wanted a guy's who is actually dealing with depression's perspective. Last month, I tried to take my life. My boyfriend got a call from a friend warning him that I was not doing too well. Went to mine looking for me, and together with the police, he ended up saving me. I did the quotes with my fingers because she did that. We haven't really spoken since, besides some very brief texts. He said he wanted us both to get better, and then we could have a serious conversation about us, which, fair enough. However, as time goes by, he is really odd. I thought he'd want to jump away from this boat. However, he keeps checking on me through my friends, and whilst I was at the hospital, he kept calling them as well. I'm not too sure how to take this. This shit is a bit depressive for a video, but it's your choice. I don't think it's depressive at all. I think it's just something that other people might be going through and you need advice for, Even if it is, I guess, objectively depressive, that doesn't matter. That's things that people might need the most advice on, and that's what we're here. No judgment zone, guys. That's for real, for real. All right, so what you're saying is, this guy, I'm going to read this really quick. Reread it. One sec. So he was your boyfriend, okay. He wanted you to both get better, and then we could have a serious conversation about us. Okay, so what I'm going with it, and he keeps checking up, like, okay. Yo, I would say this guy's probably serious. It seems like he's serious, because like if you're both getting better, and you both are, like, are you having conversations? Like, it depends, right? Because if he's getting better and he's looking at life from a different perspective and a not depressed perspective, and now it's his baseline is, his reality is the perspective he wants it to be, instead of depressive or something, at least that's reality, right? And yours is as well. So I'm gonna dive into why you're perplexed about it. because you thought he'd jump ship, right? Like I would. Uh, I have in a situation like this, to be totally honest. It's like you get better, right? And then you, like I'm saying this from an actual, this actually happened type shit. I'm like, we need to get better, and then we'll see what fucking happens. But I got better, and I was like, nah, hell nah. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? So this guy seems like he's like, hell yeah. So let me see why you're perplexed again. Let me read. I'm wondering, I'm confused by that. Why are you not too sure how to take this? I don't see how you could take this in any other way but good. This seems like a good thing, right? He's checking up. He's caring. This is, it seems like this guy cares about you, because that's very unlike a guy thing, I guess. Like, I don't do that shit for anybody. I don't know. I don't fucking message people like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So like, that's seems like it's a guy who really likes you. So I'm not really sure and really cares about you. And he was your boyfriend. So I think like you need to just ask him if you're perplexed by something or somebody's actions. Ask them why they're doing them, or why. Yeah, ask them, because I don't know that person, right? I'm just perplexed on why you're confused on how to take this. Is it because you don't want the relationship, or are you confused that you thought he would jump ship but he's not? But that's just, I think, showing that and signifying that he's about it, right? He's about this fucking road with you that he's seeing, or he's at least about it to have the conversation. So it sounds like you guys need to have the conversation and bring this up to him. But the vibe I'm getting is this dude cares. This dude definitely cares. Even if he doesn't want to, if you guys don't end up together, this dude definitely cares and loves you. That's, even if it's like, to some people hearing this, that might think, oh, those are just like little things. He's just doing little things. Nah, he's not. That takes up mental space. You got to message this fucking person, all this for real, and asking their friends, not like, ain't nobody doing that about me, okay? That shit takes mental fucking space. No, like, this guy cares about you, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. And that is my answer. That's my advice on that one. Just my advice, though. If that fucks up your life, it's just my advice. Take it as you will. Take it with a grain of salt if you want, or take it as the fucking gospel. However you take it is how you take it, I guess. Just like sex. All right. Yo, what's up, Poppy? Question for you. If you have the time, how do you take an idea and put it into action, especially if you feel like you don't have the guidance to lead you in the right direction? I'm a junior in college, and I really want to be a lawyer, but I just don't know how to get there, and I feel like I have no one I can go to for help. Did you ever have anything like this? Okay, first of all, I'm a junior in college, and I really want to be a lawyer. Are you in college already to be a lawyer? If you are not, I feel like there's actually concrete steps you have to take that you don't really need advice, right? To get to, like if you can get into the lawyer college, I mean, if you are meant to be a lawyer and it's something you really want to be, like, isn't it literally school, lawyer school? Like, so how do you take an idea and you put it into action? But if it's school, though, school is very black and white. You have to go to school to be a lawyer. So it's not like you can just take this idea into action, right? You can't just be like, I am a lawyer now. Who wants to be my first client, right? Like, you got to go do some shit legally. You legally have to go to school, right? But if you don't have the guidance to lead you in the right direction, and you can't find a person, right? Look online, Google, YouTube, a YouTube person, a YouTube personality. Check out a couple of them. Find one you trust with credibility behind them and enough. They're giving you information that you can practice that is correct. That is the person. Follow them, and then that's the person to mentor you. Oh, we just heard Myles barking. He's probably scared of the storm. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I think, yeah, the guidance. Well, you have guidance also from within, though. You're getting guidance of wanting to be a lawyer. Oh, or does Myles want to go downstairs? Mom, can you grab him real quick? Appreciate you. So you're having this guidance coming from, and we're not sure obviously where this guidance comes from, right? Because you have this guidance already. What's guiding you to wanting to be a lawyer, right? Look at that a little bit. Think deep. Maybe we could think deep too, right? And that could also help you find this, because you could also look internally, I guess, and help find. It depends. I mean, lawyers are usually quite intelligent, so I would possibly look into that. But definitely, the guidance is on the internet. If you can't find one in person, it's even better finding one. I mean, I think in person you could find a mentor that you trust, but online is obviously easier to lead you in the correct direction. I feel like it's lawyer stuff is black and there's a clear path. I feel like. I don't know how you feel like you have no one you can go to for help. Isn't there guidance counselors at the college you just can call and you can talk to people at the school? Like, I'm confused on why. Like I don't get where the problem lies. I feel like there's a number you just call and to ask them the questions, right? Like, how do I apply to this college? What do I need to get into it? Like, what's the prerequisites? You might have to do a lot of more schooling. This is a lot. Like, being a lawyer is a lot. But did you ever experience anything like this? Oh my fucking God. Yeah, I dropped out of college with no fucking idea what to do. I literally messaged Gary or tweeted at Gary V. What can somebody do with no college degree to make money? Like, what can they do for a living? Can you believe that? Does that sound like something I would ask now? Like, that's unreal. That's such a stupid fucking question. It is. It's a stupid fucking question. It shows how, and I was like 19, 20, or whatever when I dropped. I don't even know. Okay, 2017, pretty much, right into 2017. I was going to a weekend concert at like in December of 2016, and that was the day I dropped out of college. Was that concert? After the concert, so I had no direction at all. None. Nobody. There's not one human being on earth, right, in my vicinity or world. Every human being that I would come into contact with would not have an answer for me. Or the answer would be go to school, right? I have somebody in my family who's rich. Super rich, very successful. And I asked them, right, I was like, I look up to you as a successful person. What would you recommend I do to find, to do this? He said, instantly he said, go to college, go back to school. And then I was like, fuck you. Like, you're not as smart. You're not as successful as I thought you were. You couldn't do what I do. Like, there's a difference. There's a very, very clear difference between a businessman just told me to go to school. Are you? I don't know. That's a perplexing thing. Family member though, who I still do obviously look up to. I don't hate that person, but that changed my perspective on them being they're just not in the real world. There you go. Their kids had to go to school for legally had to go to school. So I understand that, but it's weird to just answer without even just answering, saying go to college, right? Because it's priced at a luxury but shown as a necessity, right? And colleges are going to go away. It's all going to change. You'll see very soon, much quicker than we ever thought. It's going to happen mad quick. $25,000 to go to Illinois State University. Suck on my dick. Eat my fucking cock. Are you kidding me? For what? All right. I looked around and I was like, there's 20,000 people at this one fucking school. And you're telling me this piece of paper is what's going to make me stick out from everybody in America? Like, this is what's going to set me apart. Fuck me. You know what's going to make me stand out is if I leave. If I make something out of myself from from creating within of an idea, right? Having an idea and having it come to fruition. I mean, yours is literally legally laid out for you. But to have an idea come to fruition. So this might, let's see how long, and let's just go. So having an idea, where do ideas come from, right? Are they grown? Like, are they, when you randomly come up with an idea, what is that exactly? Or when you randomly come up with the name of your channel perfectly, when you finally come up with that perfect thing, because is it your background? I used to think it was just that, I think in the background, right? I don't actively think, and when I do, it's fucking super fun. A lot of people can't do that, actually. That sounds very pretentious, but if you watch my videos, I always explain about the experiment about how people cannot be with themselves internally and cannot self-entertain or kind of think, intellectual. They can't be an intellectual. They can't look internally and think about humanity. They can't look internally or think at all. Or, like, do they just sit there? Like, they would rather do an electric shock within 3 to 5 minutes to give some sort of not of just a stimulus, right? Something to entertain or something to focus on that isn't, because they're not comfortable with themselves. So when an idea forms, you have to, first of all, look at how many ideas you've had, okay? And I've had so many ideas, right? So I went to bartending school. I mean, they closed before I can get my certification, so, but whatever. You don't need to fucking go to bartending school. I just was like, that sounds fun. And then I went to fashion school. So these are ideas I'm having, right? Idea to be a bartender. All right, let's go be a bartender. I could totally, forever, easily, never was, but I mean, I had a job at Chili's where I feel like I'm slowing down. I need to drink this yerba mate, son. Where I was at Chili's and they're like, you'll be a bartender eventually. Oh, you have experience, cool. So it actually helped. And it was fun. So that was an idea that I practiced, went to school for, and then used. But I don't need that anymore, right? So I did that idea. It came to fruition very easily. School. I looked it up, asked how to go, enrolled, did it. Fashion school. I was gonna go to a full-blown fashion school. Luckily, I fucking did not. The only reason probably would have stayed because they had a lot of camera equipment, but I would rather, you're taking on a ton of debt to go to school there, so that actually doesn't even out. I'd rather just take on credit card debt, right, to get stuff to upgrade instead of just using their shit because you're using student loans, so that's worse anyway because you can't default. Think about that. It's a fucking trap. It's a scam, by the way. College, I believe, is 100% a scam for every single human being on earth. It is, like I said, priced as a luxury, shown as a necessity, and you can learn everything online. We have infinite knowledge. The Neuralink is coming out. I'll fucking do a podcast on the Neuralink. Look it up, by Elon Musk, coming out soon. I'll take out a fucking loan. I don't care how much it is. Type shit. It's a brain implant. So it's connected to your phone because of our bandwidth. Outward bandwidth is too slow with our thumbs and shit. So the idea to fruition. So then the fashion school. Of course, I love fashion. I love clothing and everything. And that literally ruined. So I went to class for probably 4 weeks or whatever. And the class was 4 hours long once a week. And then there was some bullshit homework or whatever. And I was making my first YouTube channel during that time. Right, which was another idea. Okay, so I had that idea for some reason because it was just I don't know why I did YouTube. Oh, because I was watching Ty Lopez and I was reading a fuckload. Right, I was reading 40 to 60 books a year when I dropped out of college to just because Ty Lopez said knowledge is a reading thing. Gary Vee says not to read. It's weird. Gary Vee's the person I then listened to. So now I don't listen to anybody's. Very weird. Because the thing is, you have to find your own groove, your own thing, because now I'm in this somewhat position of like a lesser them, as whoa, yeah. I'm like because now I am a lesser Gary Vee. I've learned and practiced and found my thing, and I know how to aim my arrow at it, and the pendulum. I know how to aim my arrow, which is also a pendulum, right? When you start a new idea or project or thing you're doing, let's say stand-up comedy, there's a pendulum. You're shooting an arrow at stand-up comedy, right? Bow, you're shooting the gun, that an arrow comes out, and it shoots it at comedy, right? So, and let's pretend the arrow's coming down at it. You just fucking use your imagination, okay? I'm high. This is a very easy concept, though. So then it becomes a pendulum. And your success of this new, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be stand-up, it could be anything. So apply this, just insert your thing, mine stand-up. So now you're trying, okay? Your pendulum, you keep doing wrong things, right? But then you notice you're doing wrong things, so the pendulum gets closer. It tightens, right? It'll keep tightening. You won't what's that called? When you overcompensate in the car, right? When you're fishtailing, when you finally get it, right? Do you see what I'm saying? The failures, you will lessen your failures, just like how a kid lessens their failures when they're talking. Their pendulum of words, of the stupid shit they're saying that doesn't make sense, goes away, right? Because they start getting those things right. And that's with everything in life, okay? Just to interject, that is if you want to figure out how to get past that and do that. Because you will never get to the end of the pendulum ever if you do not get past the dip. Read the book, The Dip. Every person, there are very few people, first of all, who watch on this channel currently. But if you you have to read The Dip. Whoever reads The Dip will be at a extreme advantage by Seth Godin. The Dip. I've read it 3 times. I read it right before I made my first 90-day fiancé video. It explains what the dip is. The dip is 3 months into something. It's the best way to look at it is the gym, right? You go to the gym in January, February, March, April, they're gone. The fat people, right? It's a dip. Because 3 months, you get easy progress. It shows off quickly. You love it. It's easy. But then 3 months, it's not fun. It's not easy. You got to start learning. You got to start implementing. The progress is slower. It becomes a process. It becomes something you have to put into your life. And, what is it? What are those called? Things that you do. All the habits take, up to 65 days or longer, right? I would say mine takes 34 to 60 days to develop a habit. 90 days is what 3 months is, but they're not working out every fucking day, obviously. So they're probably doing 3 days a week for those 4 weeks. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But look at that, the dip. The analogies, it gets harder because if you're a beginner lifter, you start losing weight and gaining muscle at the same time. Eventually, you can't do that as a lifter. It becomes harder. It's frustrating. Everything. That's with everything in life. Everything in life has the dip. Where in the beginning, is so fun. Learning how to draw and stuff. Oh my God, it's so fun. I'm real nice with drawing, right? So learning how to draw and everything is so fun, okay? In the beginning, if you started watching some YouTube videos, you did it for a couple months or whatever, and then go take a class, a drawing class where it's serious. They teach you how to cross-hatch, fucking shade and everything, all this stuff, and you're just like, oh my fuck. God, I just want to draw pictures of Mickey Mouse. It's you need, because the dip is going to set in. And you need to notice the dip, right, when you're in that dip. And you have to pick what's worth going through that dip for, okay? Because the dip is the hardest thing to get past. The dip is what weeds out people. That's why some college courses, for doctors and stuff, they'll throw a very, very hard class in. A very difficult class to weed people out. Weed out the weak, the ones who shouldn't make it to that position, right? And that's what the dip is. in everything on earth. Read that book, change your life, okay? And that goes even with practicing ideas, okay? I had a YouTube channel, like I said, during that the fashion thing. I woke up one morning and I was like, I fucking hate this. I don't want to go. And I'm not going anymore. It's my money. I'm not cut my losses, as you always should, okay? Always cut your losses with these things. When there's a lot to learn. There's a lot that we're going to dive a lot into this, actually. This might be the end of the video because of this. We're going deep with cutting. This is going to go deep video. Cutting your losses, okay? For me, I went to college for 2 years. There's only 2 years left, bruh. Easily could have a degree, man. Like, easy. School, like, it's not hard. It's not my thing. Obviously, my personality trait is not that of a fucking, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I'm not a soldier, right? I don't take orders. That's not my shit. Very disagreeable. That thing. Do my own thing, whatever. Listen to Jordan Peterson, entrepreneurial, narcissistic type person, me, right? Okay? So, what you have to do is, that just kind of threw me off. But I know we were talking about the cutting your losses. So I just couldn't do it. 2 years. So, like, if you were to drive, I always say 2 miles. Let's say you're going to Chick-fil-A, right, on a Sunday. Fucking idiot. You drive 2 miles and you're like, oh, fuck. They love God and hate gays too much. Fuck. So it's closed on Sunday. You're still going to drive to Chick-fil-A because you drove 2 miles? Just because you did it already? You started? And a lot of you guys are going to comment, I'm going to go to fucking Popeyes instead. And you're going to turn around and go home. Just, like, be real with this for a second. You're going to turn around and go home because you wanted Chick-fil-A. Really bad. It's really good. The sauce makes me come. I come in the sauce, and it makes it better. Because I am spicy. Do you feel me? And that was college for me, right? 2 years. Why do another 2 years? Why do over another $50,000? Look at all the time, right? Think about the time. This is what I'm trying. This is also something that should be ingrained in you. Time is the number one thing in life. Is the only thing that's important. Not money. There's a lot of things. Okay, it's not the only thing, but it's the only thing we have that's finite that we all share. We all share consciousness. We all share, I guess, you know what I'm saying? That bullshit, but death and time and the finite ability and the eventual degradation of your body after a certain age. We all share that. Remember death right there. Memento mori. So with this finite time, you need to realize that your time is very, very valuable, especially in your younger years when you don't have things to worry about. You don't have a kid. You might have a kid, but you have student loans, whatever. But, like, minimize the things that are hindering you from being able to take these risks of whatever you want, okay? Like going to school and just quitting. Like going to bartending school and then, like, starting a YouTube channel and just focusing on that, and then having a job and doing the YouTube channel, right? You really got to develop this mindset of, like, if you have a job and you want to do something on the side, you got to work after work. I did it. You have to. But you should be blessed for the ability to be able to do that, because your grandparents couldn't, right? They couldn't come home from work and work on their fucking Etsy store. See what I'm saying? So do that if you have something. So to have an idea come to fruition. So the dip, I think I explained with the pendulum, you're always going to get closer, right? But to find that thing, that's not I'll go back, because, like, at the end you asked me a question of saying, you said, did you ever experience anything like this? Yeah, like, you can't go to anyone for help when you're, like, dropping out of college. So you have to, every idea that comes to you, anything that catches your eye, your conscious eye, your subconscious eye, right? Whatever's guiding you, because you do have some sort of guidance, right? To me, we about to go What the fuck did you just say? Everybody's a god, okay? Every human being is a god, okay? We're going Alan Watts for a little bit, all right? Alan Watts your ass. You point anywhere on a ball, that is the center of the ball, right? So every ant is a god, every human being, that type of shit, right? Like your perspective is your universe. Here's a good example of your universe being different from mine. Hypothetically, I'm in my car and you're in your car. We're right next to each other in traffic. You're pissed as fuck. You're so mad because you're in traffic now. Me, I'm happy as shit listening to my music, bruh. It's loud. I get to chill. Nobody expects anything from me because I'm in traffic now and I get to look at the other cars. You're angry and it makes me laugh. Makes me feel better. I just get to chill. Yeah, I get to look at my rings. It's nice out. Even if it's not nice out, I'll fucking have the heat on. Doesn't matter. It's the perspective. Your universe right in that moment is hell. And mine would be bliss. Right? Hopefully. Unless I'm that guy who's pissed and then I'm having like a panic attack or something. But we always got that Xanax on deck, son. You know what I'm saying? Being all right. Prescribed. Only take it as prescribed. I don't know why people abuse Xanax. That shit's not fun, bro. Go to sleep. Yeah, I love going to sleep during the day. Woo! Yeah, that's awesome. Have fun. Have fun abusing that shit. Anyway, what was I saying? I think I was talking about where everybody is a god no matter who you are. Or like the perspective thing, okay? So you can have, you really can. You really can. It just depends. What I mean by you're a god, okay? So when people, they try and follow I'm not talking political version of God. Like you're not the white, long-haired fucking god that, what the fuck? First of all, what? He's white with long hair in the Middle East? Okay, brethren. Yeah, all right, fucking, let's just keep doing the thing where he died on. Okay, whatever. He definitely was that gorgeous. So you have this image. Catholics try and follow the image of God, right? Type shit. I used to be a Catholic. Currently an atheist, but very religious, if you see what I'm saying. I am going to finish this yerba mate because the future God of me wants me to. And the real God let me make that fucking shot. Thank you, Jesus. See, we tight. We both got, bro. No, this isn't like Kanye shit where I'm like, I'm a god, I control everything. It's like you as well. Okay? There's this... So they follow in the image of God who is perfect, right? So there should be this end goal of you that you're trying to achieve, which is perfect. Perfection, impossible. The journey of what you're trying to achieve should be never ending, right? It should never be, I want 1 million subscribers. Because what the fuck happens when you hit that? What do you do? It's like with like NFL player, or like probably with sports players. Like when they do it and it's done, now the fuck what? Right? So you have to have this goal or ever-changing goals because you should be an ever-changing person. There's people who aren't ever-changing at all. There's people who constantly will be the same person. There's people who work at this fucking Home Depot that I worked at, who I knew more than them about the Home Depot and how to work all of the shit. And they've been there for 20 fucking years. They've been there since or however long it's been open. And I think it's 20 years. That's fucking insane, okay? That person probably hasn't changed a goddamn bit ever. And there's a lot of people like that. Because why would they? Their day-to-day is... A lot of people are on autopilot. A lot of old people. I feel like more people, younger people are maybe more self-aware, more conscious. Maybe that's why suicide rates are up or something. Plus the social media and everything of people for some reason. For some reason, everybody has a social media account, and I don't know fucking why. Every single person feels the need to post their... If it was... I used to, right? But now that it's my job and everything, and I've realized it, like, if I didn't have this... If I didn't need to post, I would never be on it. It doesn't even make me feel good. It makes me always feel bad, right? Always. That's not good because you really need to use social media. So it's a very, very highly valued currency, and I'm telling you not to use it. If you're not planning on being an influencer, I don't understand why the fuck you're posting, why you're like, it just doesn't make sense to me. If you're like, I don't know, 63 years old and like posting stupid mom memes and what you and your family, nobody gives a fuck. You got a like from your sister. Like, no one cares, right? What, like, I know it's weird. Well, it's obviously an addiction. It releases dopamine. That's why. Obviously. Fucking obviously that's the answer. But you hear my George Michael's shake? Obviously it's because of the dopamine and they do it on purpose. So yeah, it's tailored that way. So, but you know, yeah, I don't know how to get out of that. I can't explain how to get out of that. I should try and reverse engineer how I did. But with following these ideas and going through with them, you're going to fail at a lot of them, and sometimes you're going to. So when you cut your losses, let's talk about that. The cutting the losses. That's going to come with a lot of ridicule, right? I've literally had somebody ask me, "What do you think of people thinking you're a quitter?" They asked me that, well, on Facebook, like on a questions thing, and I answered it publicly. Like, imagine that, because that's what's going to happen, right? Right whenever you start bettering yourself, people are going to get very, very, threatened. Very threatening, apparently. I don't know. I've never been around somebody who's tried to better themselves, honestly. And that would excite me. That's very exciting to me. I'm usually around people who are better, or like get it, like, or I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I guess I don't know anybody who's ever on the active search. I guess. But I guess it's intimidating to other people. I've heard as well as seen. I've seen with my own eyes. I've seen with feelings. I've seen with what I've heard. Especially with that. Calling you a quitter? What do you mean? Trying to see what I do and don't like? I'd pay any amount of money for me to find out what I don't like, right? What I shouldn't do in life? Think about that. That's all you're doing. It's paying money to find out what you're not going to waste your life on. But people are going to ridicule you and call you a quitter every single time until something finally works out. And it could be your first try, and it could be your 1,000th try. I remember I quit the fashion. You know, I was like, I'd rather work on my videos, and I quit those videos because I noticed that after, I think it was like 6 months, I had 62 subs. I was like, this isn't going anywhere. This is clearly just not, I was writing scripts. What the fuck? It just wasn't me. Cut my losses, but I learned from it, right? See what I'm saying? Like, I didn't lose time. I gained knowledge to apply to the next channel of Wineboxpapi, right? And then 3 months into it, I don't know, I just read the book again, and then somebody sent me the 90 Day Fiancé video, and I guess that might just be serendipity. I think that just might be luck. I don't think the book made me find that video. I don't know, maybe it inspired me to look in other places, possibly. However, thank you, Vince. And you know which Vince you are for sending me it. Thank you. Last name starts with a G. I don't want to give people's last names out. You know, it's private information, obviously. And then you start making videos, right? So I started making videos while I had a job and stuff, or like whenever I was like doing an Uber or whatever. And like when I would tell people before I did the YouTube, before I did the Wineboxpapi, even before I did Uber or whatever, like I don't know, I was just like, I'm not gonna work again, guys. Like I'm not. After one of my last jobs, I had Chili's and Uber. And Chili's was my last job. I think I might have did one last Uber drive, and like she was a cunt, but it was to the airport. But she like complained about my music. It was rap music, and I was like, she's like, this isn't in my vocabulary. I'm like, oh, you don't say the N-word in the privacy of your own home, Karen. You're fucking lying, okay? You shut the fuck up and let me play. I almost told her to get the fuck out of the car. It was my last one. I knew it. I knew it was my last one because I was like, let's take this $45. I don't care. Yeah, I'll fucking use it. I was like, get the fuck in my car, bitch. Hey, I coulda. All right. But my friends, like, it's weird. Every very God, it's weird actually reflecting on this. People the closest to me were the ones who were the most harsh, actually. At times, right? Like a few people were like, "What the fuck are you gonna do? What do you, what are you gonna even do?" And then when I was trying stuff, or like working on something, one of them was like, "What do you even do? Like, what are you even doing? Like, trying to talk shit." Like, and then there's a person who's like, I said posted something on Facebook. This isn't like me having any I'm like not mad at these people. This is just me reflecting on what's gonna happen to you and showing. I didn't give a fuck. I don't give a single fuck about what any human being like real like of course negative comments and things like that they get to you, of course, like I'm a human being, right? But in reality, what I think matters fucking most, because I think over time I've proven it's correct, and usually because of intuition, and your intuition's right. Nobody knows you better than you know you. You know what's best for you. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, by the way. So, not even your parents, by the way. You should look that up with Jordan Peterson. You are not an adult until your dad dies, is what he says. Or until you realize that you're smarter than your parents and they don't know shit. Like, they don't know more than you. Because you can't go to your father and ask, like, if you're smarter than your dad, who, like, and that's the guiding person, right? The one who's supposed to guide you and tell you what to do. And this person was asking for guidance, right? You're smart. Like, you're going to ask a dumber person what to do? It was like, one time my friend was like, yeah, you should do one-liners for stand-up. When I told him, like, I was doing, like, how I do, most people do comedy is like stories of the real life joke and stuff like that because they're funny. He was like, do one-liners. I was like, what the fuck? That's terrible fucking advice, you fucking idiot, right? Like, why would you ask a dumber person for advice? They're just going to tell you what not to do, I guess, so you could learn from that. Yeah. Well, I learned from my dad was like, he was like, whenever you start something, finish it. I was like, that's fucking stupid. You're wrong. So, like people telling me to, like my mom and dad telling me to go to college, that I had to go to college to be successful when neither of them have. You know what I'm saying? My dad did like 2 years at a community college. And friends saying I had to go to college to be successful who were in college. I had to go to, they're telling me I have to go to school to be successful. You're in school right now. You are not successful. You have no clue what's going to happen in your future. You could be a crack whore right after school, right after this. You're telling me you're going to be successful because that piece of paper, bitch? Nah, you work in a Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? So the ridicule, that's hard. A lot of people can't deal with that because it comes from people you know and people you love, or you find out you start bettering yourself and you easily can change. You could change in a second. You could change as a human being right now if you wanted to. Right. People don't think that's possible, right? Like you can become, right, like you can't lose weight right this second, but you can become skinny. You can become in shape right fucking now if you made that decision as a human being. You could become a person who doesn't go out and drink right fucking now if you made that decision, right? You can be that you can change dramatically if you make a choice and stick with it, right? And that goes a lot with discipline. Read Jocko Willink's book about discipline. If you're going to read The Dip, then you're going to take my advice on the Jocko Willink one. If you're not going to take my advice on The Dip, you're not ever going to take my advice on getting another book. So every human being should read. I think that's the key to success for two reasons. It brings you tons of knowledge from people who are dead, and you might have thoughts and ideas that are equal and that match theirs. And you're like, whoa, fuck, somebody's dead who had a best-selling book, had the same ideas as me. I might not be too far off from something, right? But what I also think it does is it brings a form of meditation to Western culture, right? Because Apple Watch, I'm not wearing mine, but the Apple Watch has a breathing app. I think you should all use it. I sometimes use mine 3 to 5 times a day where you breathe for a minute. Like I meditate 5 minutes 1 to 3 times a day. It's fucking amazing, right? Meditation's like very key as well, but like it was genius for Apple to do that with the breathing thing because Western culture doesn't. And a lot of people have anxiety and breathing and understand like meditation helps you. Like look up meditation, but what it pretty much is focusing on your breath and having a thought and not grasping onto it, having a feeling and not grasping onto it, just letting life ebb and flow. Because people think the meaning of life is to find happiness, and when they get happiness, they try and grasp onto it, and that's not possible. You can't grasp onto a feeling. Feelings fleet. It's an emotion, right? Just like anger. If you try and grasp on happiness, then maybe your body might start trying to grasp onto every emotion you get. Let it flee. It'll come back. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that dope? Let it fly away. Let it go. The happiness. It's okay. It's because it's going to come back. That's dope. It's going to keep coming back. I promise you. So don't. That's a good one. But I think one of the hardest things to deal with is you can feel the people who are getting, they're like, who do you think you are when you try and better yourself, right? When you start reading, when you start talking about that, people start calling you out and shit randomly. It's very weird. And all you're doing is trying to better yourself and others. But they get, they get into defense mode because they're like, because you can better yourself. So I want to dive into this. I've always wondered this, right? Because are there people are equal, of course, right? But of course, so let's say you're with your friends right here, and this is you. You spend a year bettering yourself, and you become objectively a better person, right? Smarter, wittier. You found out what you want to do. You're working on a project. You got thinner. You're in better shape. Everything, all around, right? They stayed the same. They probably got worse. Okay, like fatter, drink more, fucking smoke more, all that shit. Like, a lot of you might be like, "Oh my fucking god, dude, why are you talking about my friends like that, G?" You need to stop hanging out with people, because I mean, obviously the ridicule and all that stuff. I mean, there's a fantastic quote by Bukowski about, it's my favorite. I need to listen to that poem, and my mom knows exactly what poem I'm talking about. You guys should look it up. It's about just giving it your all, giving your life, do it. Oh my god, it's amazing. If I can find it and I'll link it. It's beautiful. Like, it definitely brings tears to my eyes. It's very me. Because another podcast I want to do is giving the ultimate sacrifice and explaining what that is. I'll let you guys. I want to hear what you guys. Don't be afraid to give the ultimate sacrifice. I posted that as a community picture. But what do you think that means? What does that mean to you? But so it'll create isolation anyway, right? Because they'll ridicule you. They'll be defensive of you. They'll, for some reason. And you should isolate yourself from these people who are worse than you. You are the average of the 5 people you're around. If you're around 5 drunk fat people, you're the 6th, right? You need and if you don't have, I'm not saying go find 5 thin millionaires. I'm saying find people you can learn from. It's going to be online, right? You could do meetup shit or whatever, but I've done it through online. Make that your circle type shit. Listen to the people who you look up to and have that be your circle of influence, right? Have that be your friends, right? Until you don't have this weird, you're the 6th piece of shit, right? Because 95% of people are. I'm not 95% of people aren't shit. It's just like, what I mean by that is like look at a 47-year-old guy who's married and getting drunk on a Saturday. and then working a job he doesn't like. How many of those people are out there? How many of those people are already doing that at the age of 20 something, and they're done. That's what this area feels like that I live in. You could just tell that people are done. You need to be one of those people that aren't. If that's, I don't know, I feel like you need to be. You need to find a meaning. There's a lot of rambling. There's a lot in this. But just these, a person, a 47-year-old man who is married and goes to a job he doesn't like, is just doing that because he is useless but has a secure job, right? Or I guess useful at the job, but it's fucking shit. I don't know. Like life is suffering, right? You're gonna suffer no matter what. Okay. You have to pick what's worth suffering for. Okay, and so isolation is the gift. Trust. Okay? It hurts. It's hard. Loneliness. Very difficult, right? Isolation's the gift, Mark. Are you sure? That's the worst punishment in jail, putting you in SIG, right? Or whatever it's called. In the shoe or in the box, whatever. The box. You're just sitting there in isolation. But this isn't you. You're not in jail. It's you isolating yourself away from people. You're finding a new baseline of what you want of life. And being around these people, they influence you, right? So you need to change your circle of influence. And that's the people, and they can be found online. And that's where they are. Gary V. Jordan Peterson. Wineboxpapi. I'm just, me, definitely me. But you know what I'm saying? Because that's, I think, a lot of people's problem. And they're too scared to admit. A lot of people are afraid to drop their friends. It's a necessity. You have to cut, the bad ones out. What the fuck? Even family members see them less. That doesn't even it's the same thing. Anybody. No matter whom it is. I'm not saying cut your mother out of your life, but even Gary says see her less. If you have to, right? Focus, especially depending on, no matter what your age is, because, you can... the person who's probably going to implement the trying a bunch of different things is going to be younger, and the trying a bunch of different things leads to people calling you a quitter and people getting defensive of you bettering yourself. If you start reading and trying to just talk about how you're bettering yourself and stuff like that, people will take it as offense because they notice that they're not bettering themselves type shit. So then that's when the the ridicule and them making you feel bad on purpose, trying to have you stop. They're trying to bring you down to their level again. You can't let them, right? But then I don't know how many times it takes. It could take 12 different things you have to try. It could be 3. You have no idea. And you might not ever find it. And everybody always wants to be the number one, right? But what if your thing is being the sous chef from behind. You don't have to be the face of anything. Just find your thing. Whatever that idea is, try it until you hate it. And then move to the next thing, right? See what shit sticks. Throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And once people start to get threatened by you and you start losing friends, even if you wanted to lose them, but then they start showing you, I don't know, some weird type of, I'm trying to think of a very good word, a synonymous word for just being mean. Jordan Peterson used it today. Fuck, it was a good one. It's just starts with an A or something, whatever. It's not the word angry, but they just, it'll make you, and you'll question yourself, probably. But listen to your intuition. Listen to your ideas, because you're being guided by that God thing, right? That perfect version of yourself you want to become, which is a journey, because perfection is impossible, right? But you need to then isolate and then focus and have that group that you can find, and then hopefully create this solid mind where you can go out and see these people once in a while, and you're fine, right? Like it's not gonna it's on you to let them influence you. You have to be. It's a practice. It's a thing. It's what do you want to become and why and everything. It's a lot of it's what you're gonna find out in isolation and isolating yourself, and it requires discipline because if you're lazy or something and shit like that, like, if you're lazy, it's because you're doing something you don't want to do, probably, right? Because you're gonna be excited doing things that you want to do, right? Like doing things can give you energy. Like if I was to work on a piece of jewelry and stuff, it would energize me, even though it's doing something. It's weird, because you have a finite amount of energy and willpower in the day, and you have to pick what to put that willpower energy towards, right? So pick. I would say, not what is most fun, right? Because that's fucking stupid and unproductive. Okay? What's fun is solving malaria. Okay? I heard that quote and it changed my life. What does that mean? It's not fun, Mark. You don't have fun. Correct. It's fun, but you change the world, right? So it might be fun to do. You might have like I'm having fun doing this right now, right? But like it's also taking emotional energy, mental energy. I have to it's work, right? It really is. Like I have to edit this stuff. I had to figure out all this sound stuff, the lighting, everything. Job. I'm doing other people's job, the audio job, everything. And you need to find out like what's worth, like I said, life is sacrifice. So like when you're in that isolation, like can you, I don't know, and if people are literally picking on you. I remember when somebody commented saying like, dude, you get 6 views per video. You're like something like some bullshit to me, and that didn't like faze me at all. I have some people's comments that I think I might turn into t-shirts of them talking shit about me and just block out them. And I remember when somebody said it was like, good luck making money off of your shitty YouTube channel, or like let me know when it pays the rent or something. And I was like, alright, bitch. Can pay mine and yours, ho. But the thing with, I think there's a big thing with isolation, with being with you. And that depends on the person. It depends on what you're aiming at. That might not be your type of thing. You need to find you, and the thing you're going to be doing, and you find out that works, will not always work. And that's what I'm figuring out now. Right now, I have to figure out what works, right? I used to one time post 16 videos a day. And I could never, unless I had an editor or something. And everything's, I'm not sure. Everything's changing, It's to aim at a greater good and everything like that. But let's get back to So now you find the thing and you put all of your time and energy towards it. Like that should be your child. I'm trying to get back to, because I felt like there was a lot of paths I could have gone down with that, but I wonder if that was adequate enough, because that is a lot of information. A lot of rambling, but like picking out things that equate to the situation. It's difficult because your main question was when you don't have guidance and you're looking for, you have guidance. You are your guidance, but you're also a terrible boss and an even worse employee to yourself. There's two people. The one who tells you what to do inside and the one who does it or doesn't. So you need to acquire discipline. You need to find out what's wrong with you. You need to figure you out. That's it. And once you figure you out, be you 100% fully for the rest of your life. No matter where you are, who you're in front of, what you're doing. Of course, to an extent, at a funeral, don't call your grandma cunt when she's fucking open face casket, okay? Wait till it's closed and she's in the ground or something, because she might choke your ass. All right, be yourself, no matter what it is, unless like it's gonna fucking you fucking hurt people or like skin cats. Actually, fuck cats. I don't know. So you can skin cats. Actually, I don't care. No, but just be yourself. And that's hard to do. People are scared of that. People try and conform. People try and be what other people think they might like. But whatever you are and whatever is true to you is what's going to be the easiest, because you're not going to have to try and remember to be a character. You're going to be yourself. I mean, unless you're an actor, but that's also you being yourself. You are somebody who acts, right? So be you. You might be a plumber, right? And you should be you, and you should be the best you. Try, right? And this isn't like saying you have to go fucking be a celebrity, right? You could be the best fucking plumber in your area ever. Best waitress ever. That's easy, bro. You could really just dominate. Like that could lead to so many things by just trying to increase your consumption of bad things, right? Like TV, alcohol, just things that are a waste of time. Video games, unless you're like streaming. If you're not streaming and you're playing video games for more than 1 hour a day, if you're watching TV unless you're like happy and shit and everything's all good, you should still probably listen. Because productivity and having meaningful, it makes life better, and it spreads and it ripples through everywhere. It'll make everything better. I think especially just minimize consumption of media and bad things to a degree at which it's just enough, I guess. Like an hour of video games, an hour or two. Watch a movie once a night. Have that relaxation. But I guess be you and aim at the higher good. But know that being you and following you and your guidance is going to have a lot of bad things and good things, right? It's the yin and the yang. There's the good and the bad. The good's in the bad and the bad is in the good type shit. You need it. It's like an opposite pulling force of things. You're bettering yourself and everyone around you wants to pull you back. It's very weird. They tell you you're not the same. That's goddamn right. It's on purpose. Because that person from before was shit. The person from before couldn't achieve what is being achieved or what can be achieved, right? So you need to take a look and really self-reflect and look inward. This is all very, 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 very hard to do. These are things I'm telling you to do that are so difficult and that you have to want and feel a need, an ungodly need to do, because it's looking inward and figuring yourself out is very hard, because it changes. You change, and everything you think was right and it could change in an instant, right? Like your father could die, and now your whole world gets flips. See, now I'm jumbling it up because that's like mad serious. Your whole world gets flipped upside down, and you replace coping with work, and then you have extreme depression and anxiety that you're dealing with now. You know what I'm saying? So now you're a whole new person who has to change perspective in life, and it's a good thing, right? Kind of like what Kid Cudi said in one of his songs, where he's like, he got this so he could be the one who leads people. I wrote that down. We're like, I'm glad I got this. Terrible. I've been through I can't. It's, if you've had depression, like the worst, indescribable, literal hell. I have felt death. Literally, it was so weird. I wish I could dive into. That's a weird close way to end this. But like the feeling of death, of like evil, it was weird. It was so bad. It was very weird. And I want to think about that and dive into that more. It's interesting. I've never really heard of anybody talk about it, or I've never heard anybody speak of it that way. And it's what it felt like. It felt like I could feel it and see it like a dark bubble smoke inside my body, killing. It felt like I literally felt death, and it was like a grim reaper, but not like it was the smoke essence of what death is. Because death, of course, wouldn't be the fucking grim reaper. That's retarded. It would be, I don't know, but in the bad death way, in the painful depression way, punishing, weird life way, It's weird. It's weird what the mind can do. It's weird what the body can do. It's weird everything. But yeah. Well, I mean, like, I'm me now, and I'm trying to focus on me now and see where I'm at, no matter who I am or what I become, right? Like, I'm gonna go 100% into it because that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? Because I think with me, and I think you should think this way too, like, I got me. So no matter what, I'm good forever. No matter what fucking happens, I'm me. And I'm so, so fucking grateful because I would not want to be anybody else. And you should think that same way about you, and I hope you do. And that's my mission for this channel and with this advice thing, is to try and just make you love yourself enough to find this meaning in your life that makes this life, which is equal, like life is equal to suffering, worth living for. And it just make you dance out of bed and have that ripple effect go across as far as possible, and not for any other reason than, it does make me feel good to talk about it and help, to be totally honest with you. So it is kind of selfish. I do like helping you guys if it does help. I like giving advice. It also helps me. It helps me figure my things out. But I think I would like to see the world become better, but I think people do it in wrong ways. I'll touch on the subject later. People do it the wrong ways, but I think the right way is to be yourself and aim at the highest good, right? We'll talk about the ultimate sacrifice. Comment down below if you made this far, and give the ultimate sacrifice of aiming at the highest good and being yourself truthfully. Because that's the easiest. You don't got to act. You don't have to try to be you. You're just you. And there's nothing wrong with you at all. What you owe is to become the greatest you. You literally owe this earth and yourself to give you whatever you have, whatever it is, whatever your thing is. You owe it to the world to give it to them, or else you're hurting the world, right? Because what you could give is good. Like, if not that I'm saying I'm a fucking amazing person, but if I didn't have this shit, if I just didn't, right? Like, with your thing, it could be with anything. Insert if you didn't. But like, what if I didn't? What if I just didn't start? So just be you, and you'll develop over time. It'll just get better and better, and just even when things get terrible, just know that you're where you should be right now is perfect. There's no place you should be. There's no you should be married at this time. You should have this job, this much money, this school. That doesn't exist. That's not real. Wherever you are and how you are is what is and should be. So if you want, and you notice that, and you go, I don't like what's is right now and what's going on, then notice that you are in control of your future. And you can look at whatever religion you have, or you can look at my God type thing, how I was talking about that version of you want to be, and aim at that, and always aim to be that. If you don't like what's going on here, and reflect on it, and just like, I'm going to end it with this. Go into your room. Like Jordan Peterson says, start with cleaning your room. Okay? This is how to prove that you can make things appear if you want them to. And you are your own God, I guess. Sit in your room and just try and find something that's out of place and make it more beautiful. Make your room beautiful. Okay? It might piss people off in your house, I've heard. He said, like, who do you think you are? Like that right there. You're trying to better yourself. So sit there and it'll appear. You'll find the thing that needs to be changed. It'll just appear in front. You'll find it. There's things that need to be changed and clean in your room, right? Like, even if you think it's perfect, there's some things that can be changed. Fix that. And then do that with everything, right? Clean your room. But literally, because if you're living in a space that isn't beautiful, beauty is very important. Beauty is subjective, right? So whatever is beautiful to you, just make it more beautiful, and that'll ripple. I'm not saying make your bed, but I'm saying just start with aim at the higher good in your room and just make it beautiful. Clean your fucking room, bitch. I love you guys. I only did 2 questions. They got long, and there might have been points I might have missed, but I will definitely come back to them because, like I posted on Instagram or Snapchat recently, which you should follow me at, is we've got all the time in the world, baby. There is no rush because we've got all the time in the world, baby. I'm sure I'll touch on one of those points later. Positive of it. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I need to upload these to to the internet for people to listen to still. If you made it this far, man, I don't know. That's crazy. I love you. I couldn't imagine. I mean, if you do, I'm not sure. I'll see the analytics and stuff, but yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for the questions. I'll make another one of these tomorrow to do the other ones, and we're gonna do this forever. And I have a huge list of podcasts to do. I said I'd end this already, and I didn't. But if you like what you see and want to see this develop and see multi-person angle podcasts that are coming out, this channel is going to evolve quite a bit. The comedy channel, Wineboxpapi, is going to evolve and be a fucking awesome comedy video coming out this week. I promise. More of these coming out. Stuff like this week. Once again, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you all individually and unconditionally. Mwah.